So that being said, it's huge for Will to actually come out and, you know, put a little more clarity around the situation, because that gives us representation. And representation is huge within the non-monogamy community because we don't have it. Like, we live in a mononormative world where everything, whether it's movies, shows, books, music videos sometimes, like a lot of our world is monogamous centered. So we don't have any relationship goals to look up to. Like, we don't have anything. Entanglements Part II.
Yeah, Part 2. This is Part 2 right here.
All right. So with that, let's read some of the articles, shall we?
Let's get into it.
All right. So this article is from iHeartRadio by Regina Park, and it was posted on September 27th, 2021. It's kind of a summary of the interview Will Smith did with GQ magazine. Okay. So I'm just gonna read some of the quotes from Will.
Okay.
Okay. Jada never believed in conventional marriage. Jada had family members that had an unconventional relationship. So she grew up in a way that was very different from how I grew up. There was significant endless discussions about what is relational perfection. Side note, that's definitely Will doing the thing that Willow said, you have an image of a family in your head and that is not us.
Yeah. Like, the idea of relational perfection is...
Like, perfection itself does not exist.
I don't even know what that means, relational perfection. So I never even thought about that as a goal of a relationship.
It's interesting that he did.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. Oh, shit. Continuing on. What is the perfect way to interact as a couple? And for the large part of our relationship, monogamy was what we chose, not thinking of monogamy as the only relationship perfection. And then he said, so the interviewer said, Will delicately explained that Jada wasn't the only one engaging in other sexual relationships. And then this is what Will said. It may seem hard to believe, but I would lose sleep over not giving you the answer that I know you could use. I want to help you. I want you to succeed. I want you to have a headline. But by the same token, I don't want to deal with the backlash of that in the world. And then he also says, we have given each other trust and freedom with the belief that everybody has to find their own way. And marriage for us can't be a prison. And I don't suggest our road for anybody. I don't suggest this road for anybody. But the experiences of the freedoms we've given one another and the unconditional support, to me, is the highest definition of love.
So, man. Yeah, I want to hear your thoughts first, honestly.
So just thoughts on the article before we get into the
before we get
questions?
into stuff.
So, him pointing out, like, I don't want to deal with this backlash, like, he knows.
Oh yeah.
Like,
you know,
he doesn't, like, when I say, you know, they're coming out, it's like, that was very delicate. That was, we're using the language of monogamy now, and it's not solely monogamy, you know? It's not outwardly, you know, coming out the closet proud with the shirt on, you know? Like, it's not that.
Right.
It's a very delicate... maybe. You know?
Right. It was left. There was room left for interpretation. There's room left for questioning and doubt amongst the public, which I think was kind of the purpose, so that, because they didn't themselves know exactly what was going on, so why would they define it so definitively in front of the public?
That's very true.
You know what I mean?
Some people do not have the language.
I mean, shit, this is all very new in terms of, like,
awareness,
official language. Like, in terms of the dynamics, no. But in terms of, like, the way we're going about it, the language associated with it, the culture and everything that's coming about.
Yeah.
This is new territory, but exciting, which is why we're doing this podcast.
Yes.
This is challenging a lot of people's perceptions of relationship dynamics and structures.
So going into my first question.
Go ahead.
Why is
segue? You already know, baby.
Why is Will and Jada coming out so important? So since you were going there.
Yes, this represents a departure, if you will, from the traditional way of looking at relationship structures. So everybody knows that relationships today are defaulted to monogamy as a structure. One man, usually one woman together, right? That's how they came about. This is expanded now as we go towards like LGBTQ and then towards other stuff. People are starting to be like, oh, because people consider polyamory part.
No.
Which one? Some people do.
No, it is not.
I know, but I know that you don't.
No, I'm saying no, it is not. In the community, it is not.
I know, but there's a contention.
Yes.
Yes, that's my point.
Oh, okay. That's the response is no.
Yes, I was like, I gotta get out the contention so that they know that there's a response.
All right, say it fully.
I couldn't. You said no, and I was like, I understand that this. That's why I was trying to get out. Anyways, there's a contention, as you can see, of those people who identify as polyamorous, and within that realm, being part of the LGBTQ plus community, because there's a link, I believe, between the deconstruction of relationships and relationship norms. Because literally, relationship norms used to be just one man and one woman. So when you even deconstruct that to it being a man, or woman, or et cetera, all the other mixed matches and all the special ways that relationships can form these days. So when you mix match all those, why not mix match the dynamic of it just being one-on-one?
Because the LGBTQIAP plus community is centered on gender and sexual identities or orientations. Anything within non-monogamy is more relationship orientation, which isn't in gender or sexuality.
Right.
So that's why a lot of LGBTQ plus people who are within non-monogamy are saying no, this is not included in it.
And I would agree, because they're not.
And there's also straight people, cishet people in non-monogamy. So it's like, we just gonna welcome all of them. And it's like, we still trying to get safe spaces and stuff. Right. Like, nah, yeah.
So I get it, but I wanted to mention that as part of why, So anyways, going forward, so all that is part of the reason it got derailed and shit, why this is such a big moment, because it represents further deconstruction of the relationship dynamic structure piece when it comes to how we connect to each other as human beings. It's no longer just a one-on-one dynamic. That's not the only form of romantic connections that we're looking as mainstream now.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it's so important. It's breaking down a lot of barriers in that regard, and it's also opening up the conversation for people to question why. Well, we'll get to that later.
Thank you, because usually he just goes right along.
Well, I'll be telling her to text me a question. She don't never do it.
The question's right there.
What's in front of the questions right now?
My mic. Anyways, so why is Will and Jada coming out so important? So, let's, be reminded that there have been rumors of their open marriage for years. Years. However, they are a huge couple. Not only in the sense of a power couple where it's Will's, career and Jada's career and then their kids. Like, it's not just that, right? It's like their relationship goals, quote unquote. Like, how many songs have they been included? Like, we don't have many black couples.
Will and Jada.
Like, we don't have many black couples to like look up to.
Shout out to Alicia Keys.
Yes. So there's been many songs with them included.
Now she's part of a couple that.
Exactly. So yeah. So they are huge, right? And for them, and while the rumors of their open marriage have existed for decades, they never confirmed.
Right. They never said anything.
They never said anything, right? So it was only until August Alsina came out that people was like, I mean, we knew this shit, but damn, you know?
Yeah, August let that whole thing.
Did he sign an NDA? I want to know, because it don't seem like
No, I don't think so. I think that was just like a connection that just happened, and it was just, it was free to flow.
Better think about it. But anyways, so that being said, it's huge for Will to actually come out and, you know, put a little more clarity around the situation, because that gives us representation. And representation is huge within the non-monogamy community, because we don't have it. Like, we live in a mononormative world where everything, whether it's movies, shows, books, music videos sometimes, like a lot of our world is monogamous centered. So we don't have any relationship goals to look up to. Like, we don't have anything.
And even the stuff that isn't monogamous centered is around the betrayal of the non-monogamy.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like,
or monogamy.
Yeah, the betrayal of the monogamy. Thank you. So it's like, you cheated on me, or something else like that.
Like, how many songs have been dedicated to that, you know? So yeah, exactly. Like, this is breaking that barrier. Right.
Where it's like, it's consensual. They both agreed. This was agreed upon at the beginning of their relationship. And you know what else is kind of unique? The fact that they were growing through.
Yeah, you know? And I would also say this is huge as polyamory grows in awareness and people are more and more coming to terms with that. It's still whitewashed, okay? And then two, it's FMF triad centered. We don't see many other dynamics of polyamory. We don't see many other dynamics of non-monogamy. So that being said, moves us into the next question. Hey, it's the Real Family. It's your girl Rocky.
And your boy Elsa.
And thanks for being here. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and click that notification bell.
Right, because subscribing and hitting that notification bell does two very important things. One, it gives you notification on our new content and make sure that you're up to date on everything that we put out every week.
Every week.
You know, every week.
Every week.
And then number two, it helps your boy and your girl out with some money. You know what I'm saying? Let's just keep it honest.
It's so real, baby.
But in all seriousness, this is just like the video portion, the YouTube portion of our content. We are It's So Real podcast. So we have all these episodes just waiting for y'all on how many platforms?
11 different streaming platforms.
11.
So it's up to you to choose.
Yeah, there's no excuses. We on everything. So whatever platform you're most comfortable listening to stuff, your content on, we're right there for you. So look us up. It's So Real Podcast.
And our link tree is available on our YouTube channel. Go over there, find the platform that works best for you, subscribe to our podcast, and hear the full thing. Because we have a lot more to say than what shows up on our YouTube channel.
Exactly. With that being said, check out the rest of our videos while you're here.
You know? And be sure to subscribe.
Alright, y'all. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
And love.
Always.